So I'm going to talk about the MICE-MD package, which is an extension of the popular MICE package. So MICE stands for multiple imputation by chain equations, and MICE-MD is an extension with functionality to deal with multi-level data. So to motivate its use, I will present a real data set, which is an individual patient data meta-analysis, which is provided by the GRIT network, which exposes risk factors associated with short-term mortality in acute heart failure. That dataset consists of 28 observational cohorts, gathering around 1,200 patients, described by 2 binary variables and 8 continuous variables, related to the patient characteristics and potential risk factors. So here we have a multi-level data structure, since you have each patient which is involved in an observational cohort. And some patients from the same cohort can share some characteristics that are different from the other one. So one objective on this data is to explain the left ventricular ejection fraction, which is known to be elevated in acute heart failure, by biomarkers that are easier to measure, like BNP, which is a blood biomarker, and the atrial fibrillation, which is another one. From a statistical point of view, it boils down to fit a generalized linear mixed model on this data. So I write the model here. So briefly, you want to explain the left ventricular ejection fraction for the patient A in cluster K, so in the cohort K. It is equal to a fixed intercept plus a fixed slope, depending on the BNP, plus an effect related to the atrial fibrillation, which is fixed also. And you are here a random intercept, depending only on the cohort, and a random slope, depending, so also the cohort, for the variable BNP. So BNP is a continuous variable, and atrial fibrillation is a binary one. And then you have an error term with a classical hypothesis on the random effect and the error. So on this model, we are particularly interested by the beta coefficient, so the fixed coefficient. We would like to estimate it and also estimate its associated variability. But the issue is that we have a lot of missing data on this data set. You have on the picture here a representation of the missing data pattern on the data. So each row corresponds to a cohort, and each column to a variable. And you have a white scale indicating the proportion of missing values for one variable on one cohort. And you have some rectangles that are completely red, meaning that you have only missing values on this cohort. This is called systematically missing data. And it is due to the fact that, according to the cohort, we don't collect the same variables. The other missing values that are more classical are called sporadically missing values. So the issue is to fit this model on this incomplete data. So how can we do that? One classical strategy is to perform multiple imputation. So briefly, to perform multiple imputation, we begin by defining an imputation model. The parameters of this model are denoted here theta. So we will generate m parameters, m value of theta, and then we will draw missing values conditionally to the observed one for each of the parameters that have been generated. And thus you complete your data set m times. So this is the first step of multiple imputation. And then, now the data are complete, we can fit our analysis model. In your case, it is a GLMM model. Thus, you obtain m values for the coefficient and m values for the associated variability, and then you combine these estimates together to obtain only one estimate of the coefficient of the analysis model and one estimate of the associated variability. So this is multiple imputation. So there are two kinds of ways to complete the data. you can use a fully conditional specification model. So this is the one implemented in the MICE package. So the idea is that you choose an imputation model for each variable, and then you impute each variable according to this model. And the other possibility is to fit a multivariate distribution of the data, and then you impute all the variables simultaneously. But this is called joint modeling. But whatever the method which is used, we need to take into account the specificities of the data. Here, it means that we have to take into account the heterogeneity between clusters because of the multi-level data structure. We have several types of variables, binary, continuous, and moreover, we have sporadically and systematically missing values that can be an additional issue to have an identifiable model. So many methods have been proposed in literature to impute multi-level data, but only 3 of them that are in blue here are suitable for our framework. You have JOMO, which is a joint modeling approach, and the FCS GLM and FCS two-stage approaches. So now I will present the FCS two-stage approaches, which is implemented in the MICE-MD package, and which is a very nice method. So FCS two-stage is an imputation which is done variable by variable. So we need a model for continuous variable, a model for binary variables. I will present here the case of continuous variable, and it is the same things for binary variable. So, of course, if we want to take into account the heterogeneity between clusters, we will use a GLMM model to impute the data. So, in this model, which is a little different from the previous one, you have Y, which is the variable you want to impute, Z, which is the design matrix, B, the fixed coefficient, and B, K, the random coefficient. And the important properties of this model is that the error terms are heteroscedastics, which improves the flexibility of the imputation model. So if you want to impute a continuous variable according to this model, we need in the first step to generate parameters for this model, meaning we have to generate beta, psi, and the variance of the noise. To achieve this goal, we will use the two-stage estimator, which is very common in meta-analysis. The idea is as follows. At stage 1, you fit a linear model onto each cluster, and then you combine the estimates of the regression coefficient using a random intercept model. So here the outcome is the regression coefficients that have been estimated at stage 1, and you write this coefficient as equal to a fixed effect, a fixed coefficient beta, plus random effect plus an error term. And thus you can obtain the beta coefficient of your model, the variance of the random effect, and by doing the same thing on the estimate of the variance, you can have the variance for each cluster. So you have the parameter of your model, and to generate a value of the parameter, not only have an estimation, you use an asymptotic distribution. So the idea is that you draw your theta from a distribution which is centered around the estimation of theta, and with variance, which is the estimated variance of theta. Thus, you obtain one parameter, and you can impute your data according to this one. But if you see this model, you need to have the value of the random effect to predict Y. And the random effects are not parameters of the model. So we need values for this. So if you have systematically missing data on Y, the idea is to draw B in its marginal distribution. And then you can input your data. And if you have sporadically missing data, we need to take into account that your random effect needs to be in line with the observed data. So to achieve this goal, we draw the random effect conditionally to the regression coefficient in these steps, and then we can do the same things. So what is the difference between FCS two-stage and the other methods. So we have seen that the FCS two-stage method uses an heteroscedastic assumption, which improves the flexibility of the imputation model. For binary variables, we use a logit link, which is a direct extension of the method. So compared to the FCS GLM method, the FCS GLM method don't have any heteroscedastic assumption, so it is less flexible. And to generate parameter of the model, we use another way, which is a Bayesian strategy, meaning that we put a prior distribution of the on the parameter, then we can derive a posterior distribution, and by making a draw from this posterior distribution, we can obtain one parameter. Okay, and for the JOMO, it is an heteroscedastic model, but here the particularity is that the prior distribution for the generation of parameter is conjugate prior. And these prior are not to be very informative with GLMM model. So what are the difference in practice of this property on the inference? To show this point, I will show some simulation briefly. So we have generated 500 datasets with a multi-level structure with 4 variables, 1 binary, 3 continuous. We have sporadically and systematically missing data, and we try to mimic the grid data that I've presented previously. So more precisely, x1 is a continuous variable, x2 is a binary one, x3 is a continuous variable, and we build an outcome, y, according to a GLMM model, which is the same as the one I presented before. And we put some systematically and sporadically missing values with 25% of missing data. On this incomplete dataset, we apply the Cepheid methods, which are dedicated to this framework. We compare with benchmark. So full data is inference without missing values. Complete case is you suppress all incomplete data. And this is some ad hoc methods. We perform multiple imputation with 5 imputed arrays, and we focus on the estimation of the beta coefficient in this model. So the beta 1 and the beta 2 related to the continuous variable and to the binary one. And we focus on the bias, the root mean square error, the variance estimates, and the coverage. So results are shown here. So you have the distribution of the estimation. So more precisely, the difference between the estimates and the true values over the 500 dataset. So you can see for the 3 reference methods that it is quite good with no bias. For the continuous variable, but also for the binary one. It is not the case for ad hoc method here, for instance. And here you focus on the estimate of the variance of your parameter. And you can see that for FCS GLM, you tend to underestimate the variance of the coefficient related to the continuous variable, which is related to the homoscedastic assumption, which is too much, is not flexible. And for the JOMO method, you tend to overestimate the variance for both coefficients, which is related to the conjugate pairs that are not in line with the data. But the FCS two-stage method is quite okay, and you can see that the coverage is close to the 95% that are expected, and it is very, very fast compared to the other one. Okay. So briefly, we will focus on the robustness to some parameters on the inference. So here we see the bias according to the number of clusters. You can see that JOMO performs badly with a small number of clusters because the influence of the prior is too much important for continuous and binary variable. If you're looking at the cluster size, you can see that heteroscedastic method, so FCS two-stage and GM JOMO, are biased with small clusters because you have too much parameter with heteroscedastic model compared to the number of observation. And with the binary variable, you have bias with FCS two-stage because you you fit a logit model on each cluster, which are biased, because it is some maximum likelihood. So I conclude now. So MiceMD is a package which is an extension of the Mice package for imputation of multi-level data. So you can use the several methods to impute that I presented. It is dedicated to sporadically and systematically missing values, continuous binary, or also count variables. And you have a lot of tools to choose automatically the method you use for imputation. So you can use FCSGLM, FCS2Stage according to the type of the variable, the number of clusters, the cluster size, etc. And you have a lot of tools to choose the number of tables, to check the fit of your model, and also some parallel calculation to improve the time required. Thank you.
We have time for one short question.
Sorry, so thank you for the presentation. Wouldn't it be possible to implement this in the Mice package as an option rather to do a separate package?
It is the same syntax as Mice.
Okay, yeah.
So it is
When you know how
the same
to use
thing.
Mice, you know how to
We
use
could
this,
do that like this, yes. It could be included directly in Mice.
Okay, super quick.
Just a really quick question. So I would usually, or many people would actually implement within each cluster, impute within each cluster, and then combine that imputation. Is that what you mean with the fixed cluster?
Fixed class is you have a fixed effect for the cluster. So you say this is cluster 1 and you have a dedicated effect with some strategy to deal with identifiability, because if you have systematically missing values, you cannot estimate the associated coefficient. So there is a little modification. I could say talk about this with you if you want. But the idea is you have a fixed variable indicating the cluster in the imputation model.
But you did not compare that to imputing within each cluster and then...
Sorry, I think we're going to have to... Can I get you to connect afterwards, and we have to move on to the next speaker. Thank you, Vincent, again.